Welcome to Asymmetrical Psychological Leverage, and this module basically explains how understanding psychology can help us build successful client acquisition systems. हमने पहले भी डिस्कस कर रखा है कि हाउ सर्टेन सब्जेक्ट्स आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन क्लाइंट एक्विजिशन एंड साइकोलॉजी उनमें सबसे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट था एंड दिस इज़ बेसिकली वो लाइक लेसन या मॉड्यूल. So, we'll be breaking down every core idea in psychology under the sun that has to do something with client acquisition, and if you want to create a winning stimuli, you need to pay attention. तो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद एक्विजिशन फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल. इट्स लाइक अ रीकैप. सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं एक्विजिशन होती क्या है. तो एक्विजिशन एक ह्यूमन से स्टार्ट होती है. व्हेन दे मीट अप विद द राइट स्टिमुलस वो एक एक्शन क्रिएट करता है एंड एक्शन होता है या तो आपके साथ कॉल बुक करना या कॉल पे शो अप करना या फिर आपसे सामान खरीदना, कुछ भी एक्शन, राइट. तो ह्यूमन प्लस स्टिमुलस गिव्स आउट एक्शन. अब अ ह्यूमन विच इज़ अ स्क्वायर इज़ अ person we want to attract as a client. Stimulus is basically the stimulus we use to get an action, and action is human acting in a way which supports them in becoming a client. Client acquisition is all about getting humans to take action. The process of converting a random stranger into a client revolves around getting them to take a series of actions called micro action chain. We have already talked about micro action chain multiple times. For example, YouTube organic, to clicking video, watching video, reading description, coming on a call, agreeing to the agenda, listening to the pitch, and then asking questions, being being convinced, and then finally pressing the button to pay. So this is like they can become a client of ours. A working stimulus is a trigger that triggers an action in the micro action chain. Acquiring clients is as simple as lining up the effective triggers and exposing them to a human in a linear order. For example, ये जो हमारी ऊपर वाली माइक्रो चेन है, इसमें हम एक स्टिमुलस की चेन बनाएंगे जिससे कि इंसान में कुछ ट्रिगर हो और वो ये एक्शन ले. तो अगर हम चाहते हैं समवन, like if we want someone to click on our video, we need to make a good title and thumbnail, right? So basically that is what it is. अब इसी तरह से अगर हम चाहते हैं someone watches our video, तो हमें एक अच्छा हुक और कंटेंट रखना होगा. अगर हम चाहते हैं कि कोई डिस्क्रिप्शन पढ़े तो हमें वीडियो के अंदर कॉल टू एक्शन बोलना होगा कि वीडियो के नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन जाके देखो. इफ़ वी वांट समवन टू क्लिक ऑन लिंक, हमें वहाँ पे उसका लिंक डालना पड़ेगा. इस तरह से दिस इज़ अ स्टिमुलाई चेन, right? Different stimuli are assigned to get different actions. A YouTube thumbnail, for example, is assigned to get clicks. A funnel lead form is assigned to get email addresses. So that is basically what it is. अब हम बात करेंगे stimulus effectiveness के बारे में. Anyone can list out micro action and stimuli chain. कोई भी कर सकता है, right? Anyone can design stimuli. But that does not mean कि हर इंसान को result या clients मिलेंगे, right? You only get results when you have effective stimuli. Effective is the word used to describe a stimulus that successfully triggers its assigned action. तो जब कोई stimuli exactly वही करवाती है जो हम उससे करवाना चाहते हैं, in that case it is effective. Effectiveness is not binary. तो ऐसा नहीं होता कि कोई stimuli effective होती है और कोई non-effective. Stimuli is not simply effective or ineffective in regard to it triggering an action. Instead we look at effectiveness as a spectrum. तो यहाँ पे या तो 100% इफेक्टिव होगी या तो 0% इफेक्टिव होगी और बीच में भी कहीं लाई कर सकती है. 100% इफेक्टिवनेस इज द मेट्रिक द स्टिमुलस इज एट्रीब्यूटेड इज वे अबव KPI. KPI हमें पता है क्या होता है. दीज आर गोल्स दैट वी सेट. तो अगर KPI से बहुत ऊपर रिजल्ट आ रहे हैं दैट मीन्स इट्स 100% इफेक्टिव. अगर KPI से बहुत ही गंदे रिजल्ट आ रहे हैं दिस मीन्स इट्स 0% इफेक्टिव. Remember that more often than not stimuli work in pairs, trios या quads, right? की वेरिएबल्स की तरह बहुत सारे स्टिमुलाई एक साथ मिलके भी काम करते हैं. तो you could have a super effective stimulus, but if you pair it with an ineffective stimulus, its effectiveness cancels out. तो एक बहुत अच्छी स्टिमुलस अगर एक बहुत गंदी स्टिमुलस के साथ मिलेगी तो इट वुड कैंसिल आउट, राइट. एग्जाम्पल, यू कैन हैव द बेस्ट यूट्यूब थंबनेल इन द वर्ल्ड. आपकी थंबनेल बहुत अच्छी है, हर कोई क्लिक कर रहा है, लेकिन आपका जो वीडियो टाइटल है, या लेट्स से आपकी थंबनेल बहुत अच्छी है लेकिन आपका वीडियो टाइटल बहुत गंदा है, आपने बहुत लंबा सा कुछ वीडियो टाइटल लिखा है जो कोई भी नहीं पढ़ रहा है, तो इन दैट केस आपकी वीडियो पे क्लिक नहीं आएंगे. लेकिन आपकी थंबनेल बहुत अच्छी थी, राइट, लेकिन टाइटल वाज नॉट गुड इनफ, तो पीपल वोंट क्लिक ऑन इट. द प्रेमिस हियर इज सिंपल. The more likely a stimulus is to trigger its assigned action, the more effective it is. Now, for the important question, what determines whether or not a stimulus has high effectiveness? How do we know that, like, how do we know what creates a good stimulus? And how do we get people to take action with our stimulus? The truth is, most people think it's luck, lekin they are wrong. Now we are going to talk about the human component. Human in your niche determining the effectiveness of a stimulus. Now, they set the conditions for what is and is not effective. What is a human? Human is body plus mind, right? Body is the physical being of a human, the shell they exist in, हमारी body सबकी. It executes orders from the mind. And mind is the mental being of the human, the thoughts, the consciousness itself, जो body को order देती है. The mind sets the action and the body executes it. तो mind action को set करता है and body सिर्फ उसको मानती है, उसका कहा मानती है, and it basically does what the mind tells it to do. If we want a human to take an action, जैसे क्लिक करना है या रिप्लाई करना है, शेड्यूल करना है या ईमेल को खोलना है या आंसर करना, वी नीड टू गेट देयर बॉडी टू एग्जीक्यूट इट. एंड अगर उनकी बॉडी से हमें उसको एग्जीक्यूट करवाना है, वी नीड टू गेट देयर माइंड टू सेट इट, राइट? So psychology is the study of mind and the behavior it produces. So now the mind is split in two parts, the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. The mind can set actions consciously and unconsciously, and 95% of human decisions and actions are happening unconsciously. This is said by a Harvard professor. तो उन्होंने काफ़ी रिसर्च की होगी. थिंक अबाउट इट, हाउ कॉन्शियस वर यू या हाउ कॉन्शियस वॉज योर डिसीजन टू ईट वट यू एट दिस मॉर्निंग. क्या आपको याद है आपने आज सुबह क्या खाया था, और जब आप उसको खा रहे थे आपको याद है आपने कितनी रोटी खाई थी, या आपने कितने ग्लास पानी पिया है, कितने घूंट पानी पिया है? नहीं, राइट? एंड हाउ कॉन्शियस वॉज योर डिसीजन टू ड्रिंक द वाटर यू जस्ट ड्रैंक? आई जस्ट ड्रैंक वाटर, राइट? डिड आई थिंक अबाउट इट? क्या मैंने खुद को बोला कि मैं 3 घूंट पानी पीऊँगा? नो. How conscious was your decision to scroll through Facebook this morning, right? अगर आपने आज सुबह इंस्टाग्राम या फेसबुक चलाया, आपने खुद को बोला कि अब इंस्टाग्राम चलाऊंगा, उसको खोलूंगा और 5 ही रील्स देखूंगा? नहीं, राइट? ये अपने आप होता है. How conscious was your decision when you watched our video on YouTube and you clicked on our funnel? शायद आपने बस वीडियो देखी, आपको वो अच्छी लगी एंड यू क्लिक्ड ऑन इट. हाउ कॉन्शियस वाज योर डिसीजन जब आप सेल्स कॉल पे आए एंड हमने आपको बोला कि हमारी कॉल का ये एजेंडा होता है, हम पहले आपसे सवाल पूछेंगे, उसके बाद आपको समझाएंगे एंड देन यू कैन मेक द डिसीजन. जब आपने इस चीज़ के लिए बोला कि हाँ श्योर आगे बढ़ते हैं, क्या आपने इसको दिमाग में सोचा या आपने सिर्फ हाँ बोल दिया? वी डू नॉट मेक दीज डिसीजंस कॉन्शियसली. ये सारे के सारे अनकॉन्शियस डिसीजंस होते हैं. Humans make both decisions and action in the client acquisition consciously and unconsciously. They will think about scheduling, they will think about buying, but they won't think about clicking on an ad. Yeah, they won't think about getting engrossed in a video sales letter funnel video. Regardless of whether the action is consciously or unconsciously manifested, there are heuristics of the mind working in the background to dictate those decisions to act. If we understand these heuristics, we can build better stimuli to trigger the action we want. अब हम बात करेंगे लॉक एंड की थ्योरी के बारे में. The secret to building stimuli is to leverage the heuristics of the mind. There are a number of heuristics we can exploit ethically, right? तो हमें किसी को इन चीज़ों का इस्तेमाल करके गलत नहीं कराना है, किसी के साथ गलत नहीं करना है. We are going to use them in a very very good way, and we will use it to get what we want from them. The heuristics of the mind are like pins on a lock. जैसे आप इस लॉक में देखो ये पिन्स हैं, राइट? जब इससे सही तरीके से चाबी जाती है तो ये ऊपर जाके टच होते हैं एंड बेसिकली दैट्स हाउ वी अनलॉक द लॉक. Imagine our human mind as a lock on the door. If we want to open the door and get the action you want, you need to design a key which fits the lock pins, right? हमें एक ऐसी चाबी बनानी पड़ेगी जो इन पिन्स को अच्छे से इनके साथ अलाइन करे. Understand? The lock determines the key does not determine the lock, right? ऐसा नहीं है. एक बात खुद सोच के देखना, क्या पहले ताला बनता है या पहले चाबी बनती है? पहले ताला बनता है, राइट? उसके बाद चाबी बनती है, ना कि पहले चाबी बन जाए फिर उसको देख के ताला बनाया जाता है. इसी सेम वे में the human determines the effectiveness of the stimuli. The effectiveness of the stimuli does not determine the human. Locksmiths design lock and then build the key afterwards in accordance with the lock itself. This is the fundamental paradigm shift you must have for all of your stimuli. You must build your stimuli in accordance with the humans you're trying to reach out. There are heuristics about the mind we can understand, and these heuristics allow us to predict how people will behave. By understanding these heuristics, we can forge our key and we can increase the likelihood of stimuli. Like we can increase the likelihood that our stimuli will have high effectiveness. तो हमें एक चाबी इस तरह से बनानी है जब हम ये सारी की सारी चीज़ें अपनी नीश के बारे में समझेंगे, ताकि हम उनके ताले के हिसाब के कुछ समझ के उस हिसाब की की बना पाए. The better your stimuli fits the lock of the human mind, the more effectiveness it has. Designing a stimulus without understanding the human mind you're designing it for is like designing a key without knowing कि किस तरह के ताले के लिए आप वो चाबी बना रहे हो. Now we are coming to the cognitive heuristics or cognitive biases. A heuristic, also known as a cognitive bias, is a pre-programmed quality of the mind that processes information, typically in an irrational way. इसका मतलब है meaning the human does the action without thinking or reasoning, regardless of whether or not it's the right thing to do, or with slight impaired judgment. तो जैसे कि हम लोग सुबह इंस्टाग्राम चलाना शुरू कर देते हैं, ऑल दो इट्स नॉट राइट फॉर अस, बट हम करना शुरू कर देते हैं क्योंकि ये प्री प्रोग्राम हो चुका है हमारे दिमाग में. दिस इज़ नॉट ए ह्यूरिस्टिक. Heuristics are unconscious decision making tools, and most people are completely unaware about them, and they're completely unaware that they have them. You have heuristics, I have heuristics, Jeff Bezos has them, Elon Musk has them. Successful people have designed their heuristics for success, and unsuccessful people have designed their heuristics for unsuccessful life, right? So information is received by the brain via senses such as touch, sight, smell, hearing and taste. All information received by human is processed by the subconscious mind, which is riddled with heuristics and cognitive biases. These heuristics skew the information. By skew I mean वो उस सारी की सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन को समझने की कोशिश करता है, कंप्रेस करने की कोशिश करता है, एंड बायस द पर्सन's thinking towards an action, and उस बेस पे इंसान एक एक्शन लेता है. There are tons of universal heuristics we will be discussing in this video, but there are more heuristics unique to specific individuals, so we won't be able to cover every single one of them here. For most people, heuristics are a force of bad because they create misjudgment and encourage irrational mistakes. However, you can use them as a force of good by rewriting them. They are simply decision making tools. Every human is born with them. But if you want them to work for you, you simply need to be more aware about them and you need to change yourself accordingly. Think of heuristics in the mind like operating software in a computer. It's installed at assembly, right? जब computer हमें मिलता है तो already उसके अंदर operating software डल के आता है, and all information is computed through it, meaning all information is biased to the operating software and its agenda. For example, if the operating software is biased towards using Adobe, जितनी भी PDF होंगी वो Adobe Acrobat PDF opener पे खुलेगी, right? तो इस तरीके से प्री इंस्टॉल्ड चीज़ें होती हैं, and those are called cognitive biases. Here is the cool part. We can shape and forge our stimuli to fit the mind by building it to take advantage of the heuristics shared by the human population. Now we are going to talk about the origin. So to understand heuristics and the cognitive biases, we need to understand why they exist. The human brain has a large energy budget allocated by the body in relation to its size. Therefore, accounting for 2% of your overall organic mass, the brain uses 20% of the oxygen consumed by your body. तो आपकी body जितनी ऑक्सीजन कंज्यूम करती है 20% goes to the brain. एंड जबकि देखा जाए तो ब्रेन जो है वो हमारी बॉडी का सिर्फ 2% का मास ऑक्यूपाई करता है, राइट? तो 2% पे वो 20% ऑक्सीजन एंड कैलोरीज ले रहा है. दैट मीन्स देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ लार्ज एनर्जी बजट विच इज एलोकेटेड टू द ब्रेन, राइट? द ब्रेन रिक्वायर्स सम सीरियस रिसोर्सेज टू रन. What this means is that it loves efficiency. A more efficient brain means less caloric consumption, more energy, more survival. It's an evolutionary thing. Also, a more efficient brain means a smaller brain, a smaller skull, a smaller head and less chance of maternal mortality during childbirth. तो कई बार बच्चे बचपन में मर जाते हैं, तो इसका मतलब है जितना efficient brain होगा उतना छोटा brain होगा, उतना छोटा skull size होगा, उतना छोटा सर होगा, and that's why less chance of death during childbirth. And again, it is a survival thing. Nature has selected the human brain for efficiency. Thinking, remembering, and cognitive tasks are extremely expensive calorifically speaking. तो मतलब ये जो चीज़ें होती हैं, कुछ चीज़ याद रखना या कुछ चीज़ें के बारे में सोचना, राइट, इन चीज़ों में बहुत ज़्यादा कैलोरी कंज्यूम होती है. बिकॉज ऑफ दिस, नेचर selected for cognitive shortcuts that prevent us from having to think and therefore to save some calories. इसका मतलब है अब हमारे दिमाग ने कुछ शॉर्टकट्स बना दिए कि अगर कोई बंदा सामने से आके तुम्हें बोलता है कि मेरे से कोर्स ले लो, तो तुम उसको एकदम से ब्लॉक कर दोगे, राइट. तो ये एक दिमाग ने शॉर्टकट बना लिया ताकि हमें अब उसको सोच के उसके ऊपर अपनी एनर्जी को वेस्ट ना करना पड़े. वी नो दीज शॉर्टकट्स एज ह्यूरिस्टिक्स. They were great when we were discovering fire, fighting snakes and sleeping in trees, when calories were scarce. बट दे आर नॉट सो ऑप्टिमल फॉर मॉडर्न लाइफ. उस टाइम हमारे पास खाने के लिए या इन सब चीज़ों के लिए इतने साधन नहीं थे, लेकिन आज की डेट में दे आर नॉट सो ऑप्टिमल. You must understand that your brain and everyone else's brain is adaptive for primitive survival. This means a lot of our cognitive tools, biases, and heuristics would have been helpful to our ancestors surviving on the African plains सबसे 1.5 लाख साल पहले. In fact, they are one of the reasons why we are such a successful species in terms of survival, right? We are the apex predators. हम लोग सबसे ऊपर आते हैं, and like that's one of the biggest reason behind it. When you start reading about the common heuristics and recognizing them in yourself and your own cognition, don't judge yourself for it. They kept our ancestors alive. अगर वो ना होते तो आज हम लोग यहाँ ना होते, राइट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर हम एक सोशल प्रूफ लें, अब से 1.5 साल पहले अगर मैंने सौभाग्य नाम का एक केवमैन देखा होता जो एक कैंप से भाग रहा होता अग 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 करके पूरी स्पीड में बिना किसी रीज़न के, शायद से अपने सर्वाइवल पे कंट्रीब्यूट करने के लिए मैं भी सेम ही तरीके से अग 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 करके उस तरफ चिल्लाते हुए भागता, राइट. अगर केवमैन सौभाग्य अपने सारे के सारे टैलेंट्स का यूज़ करके बहुत ही अच्छे से खाना बनाता एंड मुझे थोड़ा सा देता, तो इट वुड बी माई बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट कि मैं उसको सेम टू सेम फेवर रिटर्न करूं एंड आगे जाके हम दोनों अपने फ्यूचर को प्रॉफिटेबल बनाए, राइट. तो अगर वो मुझे आज खाना देगा तो शायद मैं भी उसको कल जाके खाना दूंगा. दैट्स द थिंग. तो ये कुछ कॉग्निटिव बायसेस हैं जो ऑलरेडी बहुत पहले से दिमाग में चलते आ रहे हैं. नाउ लेवरेज लिस्ट. Serious ethical warning. We are now going to discuss heuristics of the mind that we can use to create confidence and trust to get people to take the actions we want them to take. It's important before we proceed that I have your awareness and agreement that this knowledge comes with a big responsibility. I am trusting you कि आप इस मॉड्यूल में सिखाई हुई सारी की सारी चीज़ों का सिर्फ अच्छी चीज़ों के लिए इस्तेमाल करेंगे, बिकॉज पीपल ओनली यूज़ दीज इफ़ यू नो यू कैन, लाइक प्लीज़ ओनली एंड ओनली यूज़ दिस अगर आपको पता है कि यू आर जेन्युइनली हेल्पिंग समवन एंड इट इज़ इन देयर बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट. क्योंकि हो सकता है इनका यूज़ करके मैं आपको कुछ घटिया चीज़ बेच देता, लेकिन उससे दुनिया एक बुरी जगह बनती है इंस्टेड ऑफ एक अच्छी जगह, एंड हम दुनिया को एक अच्छी जगह बनाना चाहते हैं, right. So now we are going to talk about very serious stuff which could be used to get someone to do anything for us. Psychology sets the condition for what an effective stimuli is. Heuristics are leverageable. Understanding them helps you craft stimuli more conducive to action that a human otherwise would not have taken had they not seen your stimuli. मतलब हम लोग heuristics का यूज़ करके stimuli इतनी अच्छी बना सकते हैं कि ह्यूमन उसके थ्रू वो एक्शन लेगा जो उसने लेने के लिए सोची भी नहीं. आई एम गोइंग टू ब्रेक डाउन 88 heuristics फॉर यू. इफ़ यू अंडरस्टैंड दीज and how they are interrelated, you will never ever struggle with effective stimuli creation. Not much fancy colors here, just raw fundamentals. So these are again models of behavior and they do not apply every time in the binary sense. Not all of them will exist in every scenario of human activity. They are not always relevant to acquisition. You don't need to bear every single one of these in mind when creating a good stimuli. So the number one is reward super response tendency. Incentives. The main driver of human behavior is incentive. An incentive exists as a force of motivation or encouragement for someone to do something, typically for their own interest. इसका मतलब है इंसेंटिव. जैसे आप कुछ काम करते हो तो आप तभी करते हो जब आपको उसके बदले में कुछ मिल रहा होता है, राइट. वॉरेन बफेट सेज द ants go where the sugar lies. जिस जगह चीनी होगी चींटियाँ उसी तरफ जाएंगी. People rarely do things without incentive. अगर आपको किसी चीज़ में फ़ायदा नहीं दिख रहा होगा तो बहुत रेयर चांसेस हैं कि आप वो चीज़ करो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आपका जो बिज़नेस का ऑफ़र है, इट्स द incentive that drives human towards making the decision to become a client. अगर उसको आपके ऑफर में कुछ फ़ायदा नहीं दिखेगा तो वो आपके साथ काम करने का डिसीजन नहीं लेगा. The better the offer, the stronger the incentive and the more action you will get. The second one is the punishment super response tendency. Humans don't like doing things that result in punishment. They avoid making decisions to take action to do things that will lead them being punished by a form of authority or not. Example, someone might not book an appointment with you because your offer does not contain enough risk reversal and they think अगर उन्होंने खरीदा तो उनको नुकसान होगा and इंसान नुकसान से या punishment से भागने की कोशिश करता है. Third one is influence from mere association tendency. Humans are easily biased and influenced by association. For example, if you charge below all your competition, your prospect might associate your product with lower quality, since price is often associated with quality. Or if your product is used by an authority in your niche, people will associate their success with your product. तो लेट्स से अगर हम मार्केटिंग एजेंसी में एक नाम होता सौभाग्य की कोई कंपनी का एंड वो बहुत बड़ी कंपनी होती एंड वो बताता कि आदित्य के प्रोडक्ट से मैंने सीखा है, तो आप सोचते कि आदित्य का प्रोडक्ट अच्छा होगा क्योंकि उस बंदे को सक्सेस मिली है इसके प्रोडक्ट से मिली है, राइट. द नेक्स्ट वन इज लाइकिंग लविंग टेंडेंसी. Humans are more likely to act on something if they like or love the person asking them to act. They can also form their opinion and beliefs about reality based on who they look up to and like. Let's say आप मेरी वीडियोस पिछले 1 साल से देख रहे होते तो शायद आपको क्लोज करना और भी ज़्यादा आसान होता, राइट. यू आर मोर लाइकली टू टेक एडवाइस फ्रॉम योर पेरेंट्स देन समवन एल्सेस पेरेंट्स, और पीपल विल बी मोर लाइकली टू बाय फ्रॉम यू इफ दे लाइक यू और लव यू. दैट्स द थिंग. The next one is disliking hating tendency. Humans are less likely to act on something if they dislike or hate the person asking them to act. They can also form their opinions and beliefs about reality based on who they look down on or dislike. Let's say आप डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प को हेट करते हो, वो सारी की सारी जो भी चीज़ें कहेगा this would be filtered through this hate. So even if he says something which is very true, you won't see it that way. Or if someone hates your approach, they won't schedule to talk with you, right? Even if you could change their time. अगर मेरी वीडियो में मैं कुछ गलत तरीके से बात कर रहा होता, लेट से मेरी वीडियो में मैं बहुत ज़्यादा गालियाँ दे रहा होता एंड आपको गालियाँ देने वाले लोग पसंद नहीं हैं, तो नो मैटर मेरा ऑफर कितना अच्छा होता, मेरा प्रोडक्ट कितना अच्छा होता, शायद आप मेरे साथ कॉल बुक ना करते. द नेक्स्ट वन इज डाउट अवॉइडेंस टेंडेंसी. Humans hate sitting with doubt, so make decisions to escape it. They will decide and act irrationality just to remove doubt and get out of a doubtful state. If a prospect has doubts with your service, if a prospect has doubts that your service is worth their time, they will make the decision to not speak with you. The next one is inconsistency avoidance tendency. Humans are biased towards not being inconsistent with identities, beliefs, and paradigms. They are reluctant to act in a way that is misaligned with their वर्ल्ड व्यू एंड सेल्फ इमेज. तो हर इंसान का दुनिया को देखने का एक दृष्टिकोण होता है एंड अगर कोई भी चीज़ उनके दृष्टिकोण से मिसअलाइंड होती है, उनके पैराडाइम या उनके व्यू ग्लासेस से या उनके पर्सपेक्टिव से मिसअलाइंड होती है, तो वो उस चीज़ को करने में हिचकिचाते हैं. If you get a prospect to intentionally schedule a call and remind them a few times about their decision to schedule, they're likely to show up as to not seem inconsistent with their prior action to schedule. The next one is commitment consistency. This is confirmation. Humans seek to confirm what they already believe to be true. They are biased towards seeking information which confirms their existing perception of reality and reject what does not align with their sense of reality. Prospects who think Facebook ads are best for businesses will naturally seek Facebook ads as a solution for their problem, even if YouTube ads are better. Or if you get someone who wants to think about it to pay a deposit, you skew them to buy later. Right. So the next one is curiosity tendency. Humans are curious and this drives their action and decisions. They hate having half the picture and like to complete things. So they will typically act in accordance with this. If you have a website with every piece of information under the sun about your product, you sap most prospects of the natural curious motivation to schedule a call. अगर मैं अपना प्राइस अपनी वेबसाइट पे लिख दूँ, अपने सारे के सारे चीज़ें अपनी वेबसाइट पे लिख दूँ, तो शायद लोग कॉल ना करें, क्योंकि अगर उनको पता चल जाएगा कि ये है तो they won't have the curiosity and they won't schedule a call with me. The next one is Kantian fairness tendency. Humans expect to be treated fairly and are extremely sensitive to perceived lack of fairness in the world. Right? Everyone wants कि उनको equality के साथ treat किया जाए, especially if it concerns them or someone they love. Example, if you have a prospect who works hard but does not make money, you can appeal to their Kantian fairness tendency by telling them that they don't deserve to suffer like this. And तुम उनको ऐसा दिखा सकते हो कि तुम उनको समझते हो, तुम उनके बारे में sensitive हो, तुम्हें उनके लिए sympathy आती है, that it's not fair that they don't have more, and what you want is to bring fairness to their life with your offer, right? तो जब आप sympathy एक तरह से दिखाते हो, that's what people want. This is the Kantian fairness tendency. The next one is excessive self-regard. This is a strong tendency. There is a strong tendency in the human condition to believe one is better than the others. They overestimate their abilities, skills, and decision-making abilities, and the objectivity. So if you have a prospect who says they have already tried everything that works because they tried it and they are God gifts to the world and it did not work, it was the thing that did not work, not their involvement in it. लोग ये चीज़ समझते नहीं हैं, लोग अपने आप के ऊपर self accountability नहीं लेते. The next one is pain avoiding denial. Humans hate pain. To offset the feeling of pain, they often enter states of denial to warp their worldview to make things more bearable. This influences their ability to make rational decisions. For example, someone overestimates their ability to run their own Facebook ads and the ads flop. But they declare the problem was with Facebook ads and not them. Right? ये चीज़ काफ़ी बार होती है, लोग अपने पूरे perspective को बदल देते हैं just to make the pain lower. The next one is over optimism tendency. This is a lot of humans have a tendency to be overly optimistic with their life. They expect better outcomes than the likelihood of them happening, and they overestimate how quickly things can change or how quickly they can get the things they want. Prospects will expect results to be amazing, as this is a natural tendency in the human nature. So don't be afraid to write too good to be true in the statements, right? तो लोग चाहते हैं कि चीज़ें too good to be true हों. The next one is deprival super reaction tendency. Humans are loss averse. This means they react badly to losing things they have, and the negative emotional weight carried by loss is net stronger than the positive emotional weight carried by gain. तो लोगों को चीज़ें खोने में ज़्यादा दुख होता है. अगर मैं आज आपको 10,000 रुपये दे दूँ और कल मैं आपको बोलूँ कि सॉरी गौरव, मुझे मेरे से गलती हो गई, 10,000 नहीं, वो सिर्फ 1,000 का बैलेंस था, आप मुझे 9,000 रुपये वापस दे दो, तो आप इन मोस्ट केसेस क्या होता है, आप इस बात की खुशी नहीं बनाओगे कि आपको 1,000 रुपये मिले, आप इस बात का दुख बनाओगे कि आपको 9,000 रुपये वापस देने पड़ गए. दैट्स द थिंग. Social proof tendency. Humans have a tendency to base their actions and decision on other humans' decision and action. If you see a lot of people doing something, they are more likely to do it. Monkey see, monkey do. On our website page, I have wrote like 340 happy clients, and उस वजह से फिर नीचे हमने 350-360 लोगों के अगर testimonials डाले होते, तो we would have easily got all of the people to take the action, because इतने सारे clients अगर खुश हैं तो बाकी लोग भी खुश होंगे, right? Then contrast misreaction tendency. People perceive things on a scale of contrast, always comparing something to its opposite form a judgment. For example, $1,000 या let's say 80,000 रुपये, 1,00,000 रुपये seems expensive to pay for something when compared to $45, right? But it may seem cheap when compared to $1,000,000, right? तो अगर मैं आपको एक चीज़ 3 ऑफर्स दूँ, एक 10 लाख रुपए का, और उसके बाद मैं आपको चीज़ बोलूँ कि 10 लाख की है, लेकिन हमारे पास एक ऐसा ही सेम टू सेम चीज़ है, बस उसमें यही चीज़ की कमी है और बाकी सब एकदम सेम टू सेम है, 1 लाख के, तो आपको 1 लाख वाला प्राइस ज़्यादा बड़ा नहीं लगेगा एज़ कम्पेयर टू अगर मैं स्टार्टिंग ही 1 लाख से करता. देन अथॉरिटी मिसइन्फ्लुएंस टेंडेंसी. People assign believability to authority, meaning they are more likely to make decisions, judgments, and to take actions based on a figure of authority said if it was the right thing to do. For example, I have a YouTube channel for this very reason. It gives me authority and makes my word carry more weight and influence. Alex Hormozy could tell his audience to eat a bowl of honey for breakfast for no reason, and they would be inclined to do it because he has got the authority. The next one is cognitive closure. Humans like closure. They like things to be in the place and proper, making decisions and taking actions sometimes just for the sake of closure. Often, without even the right information, because someone makes a decision on a sales call before speaking with their business partner because they want the closure on the decision. The next one is cognitive drift. It's common for people's belief system to change over time and gradually. It can require a lot of evidence and persistent exposure to an idea for someone to adapt it as their own. Someone can believe a one call close is not possible, but after enough exposure to the idea and evidence that it works, their mind will change and they may start working with the one call close. Right? The next one is cognitive dissonance. Humans struggle with contradiction. They find it difficult and cognitively uncomfortable to hold two opposing viewpoints or beliefs in their mind. Decisions and polarizations is a way to deal with this discomfort. Prospects seldom purchase from two vendors offering the same solutions. अगर मैं और सौभाग्य सेम ही चीज़ दे रहे होते तो आप दोनों से नहीं खरीदते, राइट? यू माइट ओनली वॉन्ट वन विच माइट गिव यू द कोल्ड ईमेल थिंग और कोल्ड कॉलिंग थिंग, बट यू मे नॉट कंसिडर डूइंग द सेम थिंग at the same time, right? You may want both of this, but you may not consider doing them both at the same time, right? Then the next one is familiarity bias. Humans are more likely to like, trust and love and believe things just because they are familiar to it. Familiarity is simply repeated exposure to something. Most of your cold email replies will come from follow up 6, right? Because at the point people have typically been exposed to you for a lot of time, right? तो अब फिर जब वो बार बार ईमेल पढ़ेंगे उन्हें दिखेगा कितना कंसिस्टेंसी है, सो they'll be like I kinda like this guy, चलो इससे एक मीटिंग बुक कर लेता हूँ. The next one is the IKEA effect. People love things they build themselves or idea they arrive at their own. It's easy to fall in love with the stimuli and systems you create. You should only love what works in practice, not what is developed in theory, right? The next one is reciprocation tendency. People feel naturally obligated to those और टू अदर पीपल हु हैव प्रीवियसली डन देम अ फेवर. अगर मैं आपको आज कुछ चीज़ फ्री में देता हूँ तो हो सकता है कल आप कोई चीज़ बनाओ तो आप वो मुझे फ्री में दे दो, राइट? या मैं आज आपकी हेल्प करता हूँ तो शायद आप मेरी हेल्प करोगे. दे आर हार्ड वायर्ड टू गिव बैक, रेसिप्रोकेट एंड रिस्पॉन्ड इन काइंड टू अदर्स. For example, you open a payment plan to prospect because you like them and it's a good fit. They respond in kind by agreeing, feeling obligated to return the favor. And this is why I like never accept gifts from salesperson. ये काफ़ी बार होता है, salesperson आपको पहले कुछ gift देंगे and उसके बाद फिर वो आपसे आगे आगे बात करते जाएंगे and they try to sell you something and that's a strategy. वो आपको एक गिफ्ट दे के फिर आपको कुछ महंगा बेचते हैं and since आपको उन्होंने गिफ्ट दिया तो वो उस केस में you feel obligated कि आप भी उनको हाँ बोल दो. Next one is Ben Franklin effect. We are more likely to like people who have done favors for or who we have done favors for and are more likely to do further favors for people we have done favors for before. We like having people we have already helped. We like helping people we have already helped. You could email prospects the day before asking for a simple favor such as, can you do me a big favor and confirm if this is the right email address, to build this effect into your process. And you can remind people of the favors they have done prior to buying to get them to buy, right? तो आप लाइक उन अगर वो आपका एक बार फेवर करता है तो वो आपका बार बार फेवर भी कर देंगे. तो इसलिए देयर इज़ द स्ट्रैटेजी जहाँ पे यू कैन जस्ट ईमेल पीपल इफ जस्ट टू आस्क देम इफ दिस इज़ द राइट ईमेल एंड फिर वो रिप्लाई करेंगे तो तुम उनको ये बोलोगे तो वो उसका भी रिप्लाई करेंगे. दैट्स अ गुड आइडिया. The next one is information bias. Most humans are naturally wired to seek information before making a decision, even when that information does not contribute to the knowledge they need to make the decision at hand. They are by nature information gatherers and squirrels for opportunities. Prospect may ask you for information prior to the call and they use this information to make prejudgment about your service. राइट तो अगर आपकी कभी कॉल बुकिंग होती भी है आप उसको कॉल करके कंफर्म करते हो तो वो बोलेगा मुझे यहीं कॉल पे बता दो ये बता दो ये बता दो. एंड पीपल वांट मोर एंड मोर इन्फॉर्मेशन, चाहे आप उनको कितना भी बोलो कि आप उन्हें वो चीज़ सेल्स कॉल पे बता दोगे. द नेक्स्ट वन इज एक्शन बायस. Humans have a bias towards action. They will often act on things they don't need to act on, or they try to fix problems that don't even exist. Even if action is not required, humans will have an urge to act. Because of this bias, you can lean on to it to encourage action. If someone replies to a cold email saying we are all set, you can respond with let's see if there is any small improvements we can make. एंड उसके बाद वो शायद तुमसे और ज़्यादा बात करने लग जाए जस्ट बिकॉज कि वहाँ पे एक छोटी सी इम्प्रूवमेंट बनाई जा सकती है. एंड पीपल आर ऑलवेज रेडी टू फिक्स थिंग्स एंड दे ऑलवेज वांट टू टेक मोर एंड मोर एक्शन एंड दैट्स व्हाई दिस थिंग कुड वर्क. All right. The next one is non-adaptive choice switching. Once bitten, twice shy. The inhibition of making decisions that seem similar in nature to previous outcomes that one has regretting experiencing. Including the word marketing in your email copy immediately categorizes you with other marketing agencies that have fucked over businesses before. अगर आप अपने ईमेल में लिखते हो कि हम एक मार्केटिंग एजेंसी हैं तो लोग आपको ध्यान नहीं देंगे, लोग आपको स्पैम में डाल देंगे. दैट्स बिकॉज ये चीज़ पहले उनके साथ हो रखी है एंड उन लोगों ने उनके साथ धोखा करा है, तो वो सोचेंगे आप भी उनके साथ धोखा करोगे. नेक्स्ट वन इज एस्केलेशन ऑफ कमिटमेंट, ऑल्सो नोन एज the sunk cost fallacy. This bias explains that people will escalate their commitment to something, even if it is not the right thing to do. Essentially, it's doubling down on something, putting more resources into it just because previous resources have gone into it. Right? This happens a lot. अगर कोई इंसान जुआ खेलता है, उसके 500 रुपये चले जाते हैं, तो वो अगली बार और 500 लगा देता है जस्ट बिकॉज उसमें पहले भी इन्वेस्टमेंट जा चुकी है. अगर आपने लेट्स से कोई फ़ोन ख़रीदा, इट डिड नॉट वर्क इतने अच्छे से, लेकिन आपने उसकी हाफ पेमेंट कर दिया, तो आप उसकी आगे की भी पेमेंट कर दोगे इस होप में कि ये चीज़ काम कर जाए. राइट, दिस हैपेंस इफ अ प्रॉस्पेक्ट हैज़ स्पेंड 60 मिनट्स ऑन अ सेल्स कॉल्स विद यू एंड स्टिल हैज़ नॉट बॉट, दे आर मोर लाइकली टू स्पेंड एन एक्स्ट्रा 15 मिनट ऑफ द प्रायर टाइम एक्सपेंडिचर. राइट, अगर उन्होंने 60 मिनट लगा दिए तो शायद वो 15 मिनट और लगाने के लिए तैयार हो जाएंगे. द नेक्स्ट वन इज़ हॉट हैंड फेलिसी, a psychological condition in which people believe an individual is hot or cold depending on the past performance, when that performance has no bearing on future outcomes. If you can demonstrate to your client that you're on a roll and the latest 3 out of 30 people to work with you got amazing results, you are leveraging the hot hand fallacy even if the previous 27 people got bad results. Right? That's the thing. The next one is ambiguity effect. Humans try to avoid ambiguity and don't like uncertainty it produces. They are less likely to act on things and make decisions that are ambiguous and produce ambiguity. For example, यू नीड टू मेक योर स्टिमुलाई क्लियर, स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड एंड अंडरस्टैंडेबल, क्योंकि जितना ज़्यादा उसमें चीज़ें छुपी हुई होंगी, जितनी ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी होगी, उतनी ज़्यादा एम्बिगियस वो होगी एंड उतना ही पीपल वुड नॉट लाइक इट बिकॉज वो अनसर्टेनिटी क्रिएट करता है. द नेक्स्ट वन इज स्टेटस को बायस. Humans are biased towards conserving their current methodology, way of thinking and doing things. Right? आपका जो अभी सोचने का तरीका है, आप शायद चाहते हो कि आपका वही रहे. They are biased towards believing the status quo is the best way to go. Example, you can use words like traditional and tried and tested to give an indication that your systems abide by the status quo and without seeming similar to everyone else. तो आप इन चीज़ों का यूज़ कर सकते हो. ट्रेडिशनल, ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड, तो लोगों को लगता है वही तरीके हैं जो हम यूज़ करते हैं. दे आर बीन टेस्टेड, दे हैव बीन ट्राइड, दे आर वेरी ओल्ड, इतने टाइम से काम कर रहे हैं. दैट्स द थिंग. द नेक्स्ट वन इज डनिंग क्रूगर इफेक्ट. दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी important, काफ़ी अच्छा है even for our life. People who lack knowledge and skill commonly overestimate their competence, while people who have knowledge and skill underestimate their competence. तो जो लोग, इसका यही नॉर्मल सा मतलब है कि जो लोग सिर्फ स्टार्ट करते हैं उनको लगता है कि वो बहुत आसानी से सब कुछ कर सकते हैं, वो अपने आप को ओवर एस्टिमेट कर लेते हैं. जो लोग काफ़ी नॉलेज और काफ़ी स्किल और काफ़ी टाइम लगा चुके होते हैं वो अपनी नॉलेज को अंडर एस्टिमेट करना शुरू कर देता है एंड उनको हर टाइम लगता है कि हम नहीं कर पाएंगे. Recognize your prospect will likely be overestimating their ability to run their business and weave this into your stimuli with phrases like you know what to do. Right? तो इस तरीके से आप यूज़ करके उनकी इस वाली चीज़ को, बिकॉज जो नए बिजनेस ओनर्स होते हैं दे लाइकली बी ओवर एस्टिमेटिंग देयर एबिलिटी. राइट? तो आप उनको बोल सकते हो यू नो व्हाट टू डू एंड उस वजह से उनको लगेगा कि हाँ सही बात है, आई एम ऑलवेज राइट एंड लेट्स बुक दिस मीटिंग और समथिंग लाइक दैट. The next one is illusory truth effect. Humans tend to perceive claims or statements as truer if they have been previously exposed to them. This is why fake news can spread as quickly as truth. Right? So if you want your prospect to believe your systems work, it helps to wrap this up into a certain claim or statement and expose them to it prior to the call. So if you want prospect to believe we can make client acquisition easy, I'll spread it all over my stimuli. मैं हर जगह ये बोलूँगा we can make client acquisition easy. जितना ज़्यादा बोलूँगा उतना ज़्यादा लोग इसके बारे में बात करने लगेंगे, उतना ज़्यादा लोग इसको समझने लगेंगे एंड ये बात उनके दिमाग में बैठ जाएगी. Rhyme as reason effect. Humans give more credence and believability to claims and statements that rhyme. A friend in need is a friend indeed. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. It might sound cheesy, but we really do make client acquisition easy. तो ये cheesy और easy जो है ये साथ में एक साथ fit हो रहे हैं, right? तो इस तरीके से this makes more sense to the human brain. The next one is subjective validation. People are likely to consider a claim or piece of information to be true or correct if it has personal meaning or significance to them. If a piece of cold email copy explains the exact problem that the prospect is facing, they are more likely to act on it because because it validates their personal subjective struggles. The next one is scarcity bias. Humans are biased towards acting to things that are scarce or that seem scarce, जिन चीज़ों की कमी लगती है, जो चीज़ें लिमिटेड लगती हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हमने जब ये चीज़ स्टार्ट की थी, वी हैड अ मेंबर कैप एंड अ लिमिट ऑन हाउ मेनी पीपल वी कैन हैव ऑन ईच 2 or 3 months, राइट. तो हम लोग के पास अभी भी एक लिमिट है कि हम लोग सिर्फ 9 लोग लेंगे या 10 लोग लेंगे, राइट. एंड इस वजह से लोग और जल्दी डिसीजन लेते हैं एंड वी कीप ऑन इंक्रीजिंग दिस कैप लेटर एंड लेटर. The next one is urgency bias. Humans are more likely to act now if they feel the action has urgency, meaning if it's not decided or to be acted on now, they are going to have negative consequences. So this system won't work anywhere near as well in 6 months after XX updates in their platform. तो हमें इस चीज़ को जल्दी करना पड़ेगा, राइट. अगर हमें जल्दी नहीं करते तो इनके सिस्टम में शायद 6 महीने 1 साल बाद ये अपडेट्स आ जाए एंड देन इट माइट नॉट वर्क. तो अगर आप क्विकली इस चीज़ पे एनरोल नहीं करते तो यू माइट बी लिविंग अ ह्यूज अपॉर्चुनिटी. that's like how you can use it. The next one like you can also see कि अगर आप आज डिसीजन बनाते हो तो हम आपको इतने का डिस्काउंट देंगे, नहीं तो इतने का. तो वो लोग इस चीज़ में सोचते हैं कि अगर मैंने अर्जेंटली डिसीजन नहीं बनाया तो आई विल हैव नेगेटिव कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज, राइट. दैट्स वाई दे मेक फास्टर डिसीजन. Click whir conditioning. Humans have knee-jerk responses that are conditioned in them. Most of their behavior works like a machine in a click whir nature. This leads to irrational decision. If your copy looks like something everyone sends to the prospect, they will unconsciously categorize the copy as useless and knee-jerk response it into the deleted folder every time they see it. अगर आपकी ईमेल कॉपी में पहली लाइन ये है कि हाय दिस इज़ आदित्य फ्रॉम दिस मार्केटिंग एजेंसी, वो एकदम उसको उठा के डिलीट करेंगे, राइट. इवन तो आपने नीचे बहुत अच्छा भी लिखा हो, बिकॉज ह्यूमन्स का ब्रेन इसी तरह से डिज़ाइन है. एक रोबोट की तरह ये चीज़ आई, दिमाग में कुछ क्लिक हुआ, फिर काम करा जो भी हमारे दिमाग में ऑलरेडी कंडीशन है. The next one is reason respecting tendency. People are more likely to do something if they believe there is a reason for doing it. The reason does not even have to be that logical, it just has to exist. For example, including because dash after your call to action in the stimuli can contribute to better CTA performance because we are giving a reason to move forward. तो अगर किसी को आपको बस बोलना है कि hit the like button, that compared to saying hit the like button because आप ऐसा करोगे तो आपको ऐसी और वीडियोज़ दिखेंगी, that makes more sense and लोग शायद उस पर ज़्यादा क्लिक करें. Next one is egocentric bias. Humans far too often rely solely on their own perspective to make decision and have high opinions of themselves that lead to them thinking they are always right. लोग हमेशा अपने आप को बहुत ऊपर रखते हैं. लोग हमेशा सोचते हैं कि वो जो डिसीजन बनाएंगे बहुत अच्छा होगा, राइट. इफ़ समवन हैज़ द आइडिया टू नॉट मूव फॉरवर्ड विद यू, यू कैन नॉट अटैक द आइडिया डायरेक्टली एज इट्स ईगोसेंट्रिक. इंस्टेड you need to use questions and empathy to bypass the ego. The next one is anchoring bias. Humans have a tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information they learn, then comparing other things in the same category against that thing, right? Their judgment is easily impaired by a particular reference point or anchor. If Freedom Formula sold the mastermind program at 1 lakh rupees, but इसका एक नॉर्मल सा कोर्स 2000 रुपये में होता, people would more likely to think the course as inexpensive if first exposed to the mastermind. अगर मैं लोगों को 2000 रुपये का कोर्स ना दिखा के सीधा 1 लाख का कोर्स दिखाऊँ तो 1 लाख के कोर्स को महंगा मानेंगे. लेकिन अगर मैं उन्हें 1 लाख का कोर्स दिखा के 2000 का बताऊँ तो वो उसको जब कंपेयर करेंगे तो उनको वो चीज़ काफ़ी सस्ती लगेगी. That's the thing. Availability misweighing tendency. If presented with two options, the average human will more likely to pick the option that is most available. Humans typically default to the options that are most available to them. The more follow-ups you do, the more often you expose your Calendly link to the prospect, and the more often the link is there for them to click. And it's honestly this simple. The next one is frequency illusion. After noticing something for the first time, there is a tendency for someone to notice it more often. आपने देखा होगा, ये चीज़ मेरे साथ बहुत होती थी. when we bought a car, उस टाइम तक मुझे लगता था ये कार तो बहुत कम लोग लेते हैं, और वो लेते ही मुझे अब सड़क पे रोज़ तो वैसी 4-5 कार दिख जाती हैं. This is what happens when you notice something for the first time. There is a tendency of someone to notice it more often, leading them to conclude it's more common and has a high frequency of occurrence. For example, if someone in your niche sees and believes one piece of social proof you have, they will start seeing it everywhere. Kind of like what you when you want to buy a certain type of car and then you start seeing it everywhere, जैसा कि मैंने बताया, right? The next one is Barnum effect. When individuals believe that personality or self-image descriptions apply specifically to them, describes the fact the description is super vague and could be applied to anyone, right? So basically, during the sales process, it helps to tell the prospective customer why they are such a good fit and use their problem, situation, and personality as justification for your confidence in the fit. But even if it's vague, for example, we love working with hard workers, it's gonna be a very very good fit. हार्ड वर्क तो ऑलमोस्ट हर बिजनेस ओनर करता है, राइट? स्टिल अगर आप ये चीज़ बोलते हो तो उनको आपके साथ और ज़्यादा कनेक्टेड फील होगा, एंड दे मे स्टार्ट टेकिंग द they may start taking the decision. The next one is zero risk bias. Humans have a tendency to seek to eliminate risk and pick the less risky option, even if the riskier option presents a better risk reward ratio. For example, during a sales call, evergreen video, या loom pitch या ad, position working with you as the less risky option as opposed to the high risky option of them continuing to do what they are doing. In that case, they are going to work with you. The next one is humor bias. Humans often act irrationally, picking things or deciding to do things because they are funny or make them laugh. For example, telling the odd joke in your stimuli or saying something ironic, funny, or downright hilarious can get people's attention and action from them. अगर मैं आपको कोई फ़नी चीज़ बोल के कॉल पे बुलाऊँ तो चांसेस हैं कि आपका एक अच्छा सा मूड होगा and you may do what I want you to do, right? That's the thing. The next one is hyperbolic discounting. People are more inclined to make decisions and take actions that get smaller immediate rewards that give smaller immediate rewards instead of larger rewards later down the line. Position your offer in a way that can produce immediate gratification and results rewards while maintaining its long term integrity. तो हम लोग बोलते हैं 20 क्लाइंट्स 180 दिन में, पर हम ये नहीं कहते कि आपको लास्ट में क्लाइंट आएंगे, हम ये कहते हैं कि आपको दूसरे महीने से ही इतनी अपॉइंटमेंट्स आने लग जाएंगे एंड ये होने लग जाएगा, एंड दैट्स वाई पीपल वांट टू बाय इट. तो आपको उनको, जब हम जिम की नीश के अंदर ऑपरेट कर रहे थे तो हम बोलते थे 14 दिन में हम आपकी जो पुरानी लिस्ट है उसको रीएक्टिवेट करके आपके सारे पैसे वापस कमवा देंगे. दैट्स द थिंग. द नेक्स्ट वन इज़ द ऑस्ट्रिच इफेक्ट. So it's common for humans to bury their heads in the sand when trouble is brewing or they don't want to see the truth. Position your offer as a way for the prospect to bury their head in the sand, that they don't have to worry about it and we have got it for them. For example, you are the sand, तो मतलब कि वो basically अपने आप को एकदम निश्चिंत होके छोड़ सकते हैं and you will handle everything for them. The next one is groupthink. Groupthink is a phenomenon that manifests when large group of people or large crowds of people get together and start thinking about things. It's extremely irrational. People who run live people who run live free seminars to sell their product often pay actors in the crowd to demonstrate extreme enthusiasm and get others swept up to groupthink, right? अगर आप पुराने जगहों पे जाके देखोगे तो एक बार क्या हुआ था, when I was in like second or third class, there was this वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड होल्डर गाय, वो वहाँ पे आया था, उसको कुछ अपना कोर्स बेचना था एंड इसीलिए उसने ऑडियंस में काफ़ी सारे ऐसे लोग बिठा रखे थे एंड बेसिकली वो बहुत ज़्यादा उसमें इंटरेस्ट दिखाते थे, हर बार क्वेश्चंस पूछते थे, कुछ कुछ चीज़ें करके दिखाते थे एंड बेसिकली इस वजह से बाकी सारे लोगों को लगता था यार हम लोग भी जैसे ये सोच रहा है तो वो भी उसी तरीके से उस चीज़ पे बहुत ध्यान देना शुरू कर देते थे. The next one is recency effect. Things, ideas, statements, options, and arguments that come last are remembered more clearly and with more prevalence than those which came first. If a prospect is making a decision between you and 4 other vendors, make sure you're scheduled to talk to them after the 4 other vendors have pitched. अगर आप मेरे से पहले 4 लोग अगर आप ये कोर्स खरीदने से पहले 5 लोगों से बात करते, तो अगर मैं आपसे एकदम लास्ट में बात करती तो चांसेस होते कि मैं आपसे चांसेस होते कि यू वुड हैव पिक्ड मी रादर देन अगर मैं सबसे पहले बीच में करता, क्योंकि बाद में समवन कुड reciprocate the thing, someone could show कि how they are better than this, लेकिन जो last वाला इंसान होता है he always leaves the remark, and that's very important. Next one is verbatim effect. People reduce conversations and complicated encounters down to simple understanding that are easily remembered, and then use the simple understanding, not the nuances of the complicated encounters, to make decisions, typically suboptimal ones. For example, when pitching a prospect on a sales call or writing a cold email, only include key details and differentiate between what is slightly important and what is vital to understand. The next one is envy or jealousy tendency. Humans get envious and jealous when they see other humans obtaining or maintaining what they want. As Warren Buffett said, it's not greed that drives the world, but envy. So basically, if a business owner has friends crushing it, they will naturally envy their friends and want similar result. This is certainly leverageable if exposed during a sales call. Or you can turn into an authority in their space and they will naturally envy or maybe hate and promise to help you, and basically you can promise to help them in beating that authority. तो इसका क्या मतलब है, लेट्स से आप रियल एस्टेट के अंदर काम कर रहे हो एंड मैं आके आपको बोलता हूँ देखो रियल एस्टेट में इनका सबसे बड़ा नाम है एंड मैं आपको गारंटी देता हूँ कि मैं आपको इनसे ज़्यादा पैसे कमवा के दूंगा इस साल के अंदर, तो चांसेस हैं कि आप ज़्यादा मेरी बात को ध्यान से सुनो, क्योंकि आप उस बंदे से चिढ़ते हो. कहीं ना कहीं हर इंसान दूसरे इंसान से चिढ़ता है. ऑल ऑफ अस हैव सम काइंड ऑफ एनवी इन मी, लाइक आई हैव द एनवी, यू ऑल्सो हैव दैट. So that's one thing. The next one is facial attention bias. Humans trust faces and their attention is biased towards images containing faces, typically those conveying emotion. I use pictures of my face displaying strong emotions in my thumbnail to get clicks. The next one is first conclusion bias. Humans are biased towards the first idea they discover. Often, this limits their natural curious drive to explore alternatives. So basically part of the commitment it's like a part of the commitment consistency bias. हमने पहले भी इसके बारे में बात करी थी. But if you have multiple purchasing options available, make sure you explore the one you want them to pick the most first. तो जैसे अगर मैं आपको यहाँ पे 4 ऑप्शंस देता हूँ, हमारे पास एक कोर्स है 2000 का, एक कोर्स है 10,000 का, एक कोर्स है 1 लाख का और एक 10 लाख का, और मैं चाहता हूँ मेरा 1 लाख वाला कोर्स सबसे ज़्यादा बिके, तो मैं सबसे पहले 1 लाख वाले कोर्स के बारे में बताऊँगा, फिर 2 के बारे में, फिर 10 लाख के बारे में, फिर 10,000 के बारे में. चांसेस आर आप 1 लाख वाला खरीदोगे, राइट. तो आप जो चाहते हो कि लोग खरीदें उसको सबसे पहले रखना. The next one, these are Morgan's heuristics. So these are heuristics and biases that don't officially exist. These are created by Charlie Morgan. I have studied from him. I've learned a lot of things from him, and he has used it on a lot of clients. I have used these on a lot of clients, and they basically work a lot. So basically this is what I have learned. The number one is permission based misinfluence. So humans like perceived control in situations relevant to client acquisition. They are far more likely to agree to something or make a decision if the person making the request asks for their permission to ask in the first place. It's asking to ask. Well, since you asked so nicely. For example, my favorite cold messaging opener revolves around asking them for their permission for me to pitch. This gives a false sense of control and makes them feel respected. तो अगर मैं किसी को मैसेज करता हूँ और मैं उनको सीधा बात बोलने की जगह उनसे पूछता हूँ कि क्या मैं आपसे कुछ बात बोल सकता हूँ, तो इस केस में उनको लगता है कि वो कंट्रोल में, उनको लगता है कि हम उनकी बहुत ज़्यादा रिस्पेक्ट कर रहे हैं एंड दे बेसिकली feel good about it. The next one is frame based misreaction. Emotional states are contagious. In a conversation between prospect and salesperson, whoever is most persistent in their frame will win. A frame is an emotion state or a viewpoint. For example, when on sales call, if someone is talking with doubt, I will never enter in their frame and join them there. Instead, I will set my own frame of extreme confidence and I will stay in it until they join me in my frame of extreme confidence. Either you buy their doubt or they buy your confidence. It's a कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बिटवीन यू. तुम उनको बोलते रहोगे कि हम ये कॉन्फिडेंस है, हमें इस वजह से कॉन्फिडेंस है, एंड वो बोलते रहेंगे हमें इस वजह से डाउट है. द मोर यू रिड्यूस देयर डाउट, द मोर दे विल बी कमिंग टू योर फ्रेम. द नेक्स्ट वन इज साइकोलॉजिकल attrition tendency. So this is basically the threshold for action is decreased when persistence is applied. Children understand this. To get what they want, they just won't stop asking. Shame, we are conditioned to hold back on persistence as we grow into adults. It's a weapon. I don't care how many rebuttals it takes. If I'm on a sales call with someone who is a good fit, I will sit on the phone for 3 hours and stay as persistent as I can. And I will also follow up on people with like for like ridiculous amounts of time, and I just won't go away until दे से कि भाग जाए यहाँ से. आई नेवर से दिस इज़ माई लास्ट फॉलो अप. तो तुम जितने ज़्यादा ज़िद्दी बनोगे उतना ज़्यादा चांसेस है कि तुम अपनी चीज़ को बेच पाओ. अब लेकिन इसको नेगेटिव वे में मत यूज़ करना कि तुम अपनी अथॉरिटी पूरी गिरा दो. राइट. द नेक्स्ट वन इज़ ग्रेजुअलिटी टेंडेंसी. Some decisions and action require gradualness, meaning they start as unfathomable ideas that would never be acted on and gradually become concepts that can be entertained and then become concrete and they manifest into reality. It once took me 11 months to sign a single client. On our first call, he said there's no way in hell he would ever buy. As an experiment, I sent him a testimonial result every month via email, personally. 11 महीने later, he said, all right, you got me. And then 11 महीने बाद we got them to work with us. The next one is simple digestibility. Humans are more likely to act on things that are easily understood. Simple words, simple images, simple stimuli work better than overcomplicated messy one. Just say what needs to be said and leave it at that. When writing copy, try using words that are so simple it could be understood by a young child. This is what I have asked you to do again and again. Right. Now the next one is basically relatability bias. If a human can relate to someone, they are more vulnerable to get influenced from that person. I understand you want to know the price before buying, but if you had a prospect who was perfect for you, would you want to give them the price without any form of value attached to it? तो अगर कोई आपसे बोले कि प्राइस बताओ तो उनको बोलो आप एक बार हम अपने आप को हमारी सिचुएशन में रख के देखो. तो जब तुम उनको फील कराओगे रिलेटेबल उस सिचुएशन के बारे में, they will understand it more. The next one is understanding bias. If you understand, they will trust you more. Humans that feel understood are immediately more likely to trust the person who understands them. If she knows me this well, she must be able to help. राइट. अगर मैं आपके बारे में सब कुछ जानता हूँ, दैट्स वाई नीश इज़ सो इम्पॉर्टेंट. अगर मैं आपके बारे में सब कुछ समझता हूँ, आपकी सारी दिक्कतें समझता हूँ, तो इन दैट केस आप सोचोगे कि मैं आपको बहुत ईजीली हेल्प कर सकता हूँ. द नेक्स्ट वन इज ओरिजिनलिटी बायस. इन क्लाइंट एक्विजिशन, humans are more likely to respond to initial stimuli if they are original. You don't need to get original with your Calendly event या sales की script या sales की question. More so stimuli that is entry level to the system, cold email, cold message या ad, उस चीज़ में originality important है. Note, originality for the sake of originality won't work. It needs to be effective elsewhere. Our original Loom system works so well because it's original and has not been copied by 10,000 people. जिस दिन 10,000 लोग Loom वाला वही same system use करने लग जाएंगे, we might stop getting those results. The next one is creativity bias. In client acquisition, humans are more likely to respond to initial stimuli if they are creative. You don't need to get original with your Calendly event sales question again, but the thing is creativity again, not just for the sake of creativity, but it should be effective. When following up with people, हम लोग memes का use करते हैं, right? Funny चीज़ों का use करते हैं, and those things are unique to us, right? The next one is live up to an expectation basis, right? So basic live up to an expectation basis, sorry. Humans crave to live up to the expectations set for them by others human. I can tell you are the kind of person to act if you know it's right and makes sense, right? तो जब तुम ऐसा कुछ उनको बोलते हो, जब तुम उनको बोलते हो कि मुझे लगता है तुम इस तरह के पर्सन हो, तो they are going to prove it to you, right? The next one is FOMO basis. That's the fear of missing out. Humans hate missing out on things, especially if other people around them are getting it. अगर आपके 4 दोस्त कोई एक लेट्स से IPL में सट्टा लगाने लगेंगे, तो you are also probably going to do the same thing. The last thing I would want is for someone else to scoop this up, who might be a worse fit than you. मैं नहीं चाहता कि कोई और हमारे साथ काम करने लग जाए, हमारी कैब भर जाए, आप हमारे साथ काम ना कर पाओ, एंड वो इंसान आपसे कम ज़रूरत में हो. The next one is disarming honesty bias. Nothing creates trust better than radical transparency and honesty. Honesty disarms the prospect of skepticism because people who tell the truth are to be trusted. You can tell the truth, then use the words but to segue into a statement of believability. I can't get you 150 appointments on a month, unfortunately, but if all you need is 20-30, that's something I truly can manage. तो इस केस में मैं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं आपको 150 अपॉइंटमेंट तो नहीं ला सकता, लेकिन 20 से 30 अगर आपको चाहिए तो वो मैं आपको ला सकता हूँ. और if you wanna get to $100,000 a month in the next 90 days, like आई नो आप लोग चाहते हो कि इन द नेक्स्ट 90 डेज आप $100,000 अ मंथ पे पहुंच जाओ, बट इफ़ आई एम ऑनेस्ट इट्स गोइंग टू टेक अस 12 months एट लीस्ट. आई नीड टू बी ऑनेस्ट विद यू अबाउट दैट. इज़ दैट गोइंग टू बी ओके? तो इस केस में तुम उनको बोल रहे हो कि मुझे पता है आप इतने टाइम में पहुंचना चाहते हो, लेकिन इसमें हो सकता है हमें 12 महीने लगे. तो यू आर बेसिकली टेलिंग देम द ट्रूथ, एंड इस केस में दे आर गोइंग टू ट्रस्ट यू मोर. द नेक्स्ट वन इज़ नॉवेल्टी बायस. सो दिस इज द शाइनी ऑब्जेक्ट सिंड्रोम. ये बहुत 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 कॉमन है. ह्यूमन्स आर शाइनी ऑब्जेक्ट लवर्स. New things entice and excite them. Positioning your offer as new and shiny and never seen before thing can trigger an action. A lot of marketing agencies started selling TikTok ads as they were new and shiny. So you can position your service as something you will have never seen or tried before, guaranteed. The next one is conviction bias. This is used in sales. things started Things stated with confidence are more believable to the average person regardless of their validity, right? तो तुम अगर कॉन्फिडेंस से किसी चीज़ को बोलते हो तो सामने वाला इंसान उसके लिए प्रूफ भी नहीं मांगता. इफ़ यू वांट समवन टू शेयर योर कॉन्फिडेंस यू नीड टू हैव इट इन योर सेल्फ. इसके बारे में हम पहले भी बात कर चुके हैं. द नेक्स्ट वन इज कैजुअल बायस. Professionals who are casual about their skill are often regarded as authoritative, having a cool, collected tone when discussing how great you are and your offer is effective. Yeah, I mean, man, you need 20 appointments a month. That's one a day. That's literally nothing. We book 20 per day. Honestly, like, you're gonna be so easy to please. तो इस तरीके से you can basically try to act कि ये चीज़ तो बहुत normal है. You can have like casual confidence. उनको दिखाओगे कि ये तो बहुत normal सी बात हम कर सकते हैं. The next one is tried and tested. Often humans find trust and comfort in old school methods or tried and tested strategies. If something is stated as proven, battle tested, or rooted in undisputed and ancient methods, it's more likely to be trusted. For example, Freedom Formula relies on strategies and methods of thinking that are hundreds of years old and have stood the test of time. They worked then, and that's why they are even going to work now. The next one is selfishness tendency. Humans are selfish. If you want to persuade them, appeal to their interest, not to the reason. Most people only do things out of self interest. If you do this, you can keep it all to yourself and not share it with anyone else. Right? That's the thing. The next one is pattern break bias. Humans have inbuilt pattern recognition systems. They group certain stimuli into batches or categories and use these categories to make instant unconscious decisions of rejection. For example, how many times have you received a cold email copy to delete it without even thinking, right? हमें कुछ email आता है हम उसको delete कर देते हैं. It's because जो body copy है वो बहुत similar दिखती है and हम पहले से ही जानते हैं कि ये लोग ये चीज़ बोलते हैं हमारे मतलब की नहीं है तो इसको हटाओ. Next one again, mystery bias. Something shrouded in mystery creates interest, right? तो ये हम यूज़ कर चुके हैं ऑलरेडी. हम उसके बारे में सब कुछ नहीं बताते, थोड़ा सा बताते ताकि सामने वाला इंसान और पूछे. The next one is politeness bias. Humans react well to people who treat them with respect and are nice to them. Please, thank you, you're the best, etc. goes a long way. Thank you so much for your reply. It really means a lot to me. इस तरह से कहने से सामने वाले इंसान को अच्छा लगता है. The next one is effort perception bias. Humans are more vulnerable to persuasion by someone who has put in a lot of efforts into their approach or helping them. This is why a simple loom works so well. Even if you put no efforts into it, it's the perception of efforts that count. लोगों को लगता है कि हम उनकी वेबसाइट को देख के उनको ईमेल कर रहे हैं and that's why people like to buy. The next one is drama queen bias. Hyperbole is a great method to encourage action. It never hurts to exaggerate a person's problem and the effect it has on effects that problems are gonna have on him. It never hurts to help them exaggerate their dream and your confidence. Right? If we don't fix this problem, it's the bloody end of the world as far as I'm concerned. Or I'm extremely confident that we can solve this problem. Right? तो इस तरीके से तुम बहुत ही ज़्यादा बहुत ज़्यादा या तो कॉन्फिडेंस जो भी है हर चीज़ को एग्जैगरेट करना. राइट? दैट्स द ड्रामा क्वीन थिंग. द नेक्स्ट वन इज़ डिस्क्वालिफाइड आइडेंटिटी बायस. It often helps us disqualify people from our offer and explain who the service is not for by doing this. जिन लोगों के लिए सर्विस होती है वो हमारे और नज़दीक आते हैं. इसके बारे में हम पहले बात कर चुके हैं. पोलराइजेशन इसको बोलते हैं कि दिस इज़ नॉट फॉर एजेंसी ओनर्स जो 10,000 रुपये पर मंथ कमा रहे हैं. सिर्फ उनके लिए है जो 1 लाख रुपये से ऊपर कमा रहे हैं हर सिंगल महीने. राइट? तो इस तरीके से वी आर बेसिकली डिस्क्वालीफाइंग पीपल. जिनके लिए नहीं है तो जिनके लिए है वो बेसिकली आपके पास और ज़्यादा ट्रस्ट करके आएंगे. The next one is removed self concerns. People often have concerns about their ability or their skill set, concerns that might hold them back. तो आप इसमें बोल सकते हो कि ऑन आर फनल इट सेज यू डोंट नीड टू बी एन इंटरनेट विज, राइट? तो आप उनको बेसिकली बता रहे हो कि ज़रूरी नहीं है कि तुम्हें इंटरनेट के बारे में, कंप्यूटर के बारे में सारी जानकारी हो. वी आर गोइंग टू हेल्प यू विद एवरीथिंग. The next one is show and tell bias. People believe what they see more rapidly than what they are told. If you want to prove a point, show them. Our sales rep don't just tell prospects they can book 20 calls a day, they show them our own calendars. मैं आपको जितनी भी चीज़ें दिखाता हूँ, मैं आपको अपने लाइव emails दिखाता हूँ ताकि आपको एक ट्रस्ट बने, right? That's the thing. The next one is a little bonus bias. Often the difference between someone acting and not is a tiny point that breaks the critical mass of their threshold. Oh, and one tiny extra thing if you're on the fence. If you book, I will tell you my best niche related joke. It won't help your business, but it should definitely make you laugh. कुछ इतना normal सा भी is definitely going to help. The next one is one of a kind bias. If people believe that you like that they can only get something from you, they are going to buy this thing from you. Our product is not like anything you must have seen before. You cannot get this information and these results this quickly anywhere else. And then you also need to back it up with a why. The next one is instruction clarity. Humans like clear instructions. They like to know what would happen if they act and make the decision, and there is a clear cut path that is given to them. जैसे मैं आप लोगों को बताता हूँ कि this is the time it would take to do this, this is the time it would take to do this, and this is what like would happen, right? The next one is exclusivity bias. Humans like acting on things that make things exclusively theirs. If you work with us, we don't work with anyone directly in your competition with you. ये चीज़ ओनली लोकल बिजनेसेस में काम करेगी, लेकिन आप उनको बोल सकते हो कि अगर आपके साथ हम काम करते हो तो हम आपके एरिया के किसी और रियल एस्टेट एजेंट के साथ काम ही नहीं करेंगे. The next one is hard work bias. Humans, especially business owners, overestimate their work ethic. They are leverageable. I know you are a hard working business owner and that's exactly why I want to work with you. One hard worker to another. तो इस तरीके से आप लोग उनकी इस चीज़ का फ़ायदा उठा सकते हो. The next one is trend bias. So humans are likely to fall prey to trend biases if they think they can capitalize off the next big thing. Mass trends are popular and they encourage a lot of action. तो तुम उनको बोल सकते हो what we are doing is the start of a big trend, and if you want to get in early so you can have an early movers advantage, try to buy this as soon as possible, right? The next one is justification bias. People like to understand why things work the way they do. If you state something, it helps to explain why you have stated it or why are you doing it the way you are doing it, right? तो इस तरीके से लोगों को ये चीज़ और समझ आती है and they are going to take further action. The next one is quantitative specificity bias. So इसमें basically लोगों को quantity पसंद आती है. That's why we try to add tangible numbers, right? We have seen success with 83.3% of our clients. The next one is overdone it. Bias leverage can be taken too far. Sometimes it's best to fire parts of the stimulus from the hip without calculating every single part. If you are going to leverage biases, you need to do it properly. Ever read an ad that feels really slimy or a funnel that does not feel natural at all, right? उन केसेस में जो बहुत ही गंदे तरीके के funnels होते हैं, they just don't work, right? तो कई बार क्या होता है, हम लोग कुछ बहुत ही एक्स्ट्रा कर देते हैं एंड बहुत एक्स्ट्रा भी दिक्कत कर देता है, राइट? अगेन द रिमाइंडर, सीरियस एथिकल वार्निंग, इस चीज़ को कभी भी गलत तरीके से प्लीज़ यूज़ मत करना, एंड दीज आर मॉडल्स ऑफ बिहेवियर, दे डू नॉट अप्लाई एवरी सिंगल टाइम. Now we are going to talk about the cognitive bias codex, and this is basically the resource. यहाँ पे आप क्लिक करोगे तो आप विकीपीडिया के एक पेज पे पहुँच जाओगे, एंड यहाँ पे आप ह्यूमन ब्रेन के बारे में सारी की सारी चीज़ें पढ़ सकते हो, जैसे कि ये क्या क्या चीज़ें होती हैं. तो दिस इज़ फॉर फ्री टाइम. अगर आपको कभी टाइम मिलता है तो आप इस तरीके से इसके बारे में जानकारी ले सकते हो. नथिंग वेरी नेसेसरी, बट आई फाइंड इट वेरी वेरी कूल. The next one is Lollapalooza effect. The Lollapalooza effect is a phenomenon that describes the critical mass-like nature of human decision-making and action. When you combine these biases in your stimuli, you can trigger typically irrational actions in humans that take them down in your client acquisition process. Irrational actions are often necessary, so don't be afraid to conjure up irrationality in people you can help. Often, the end decision to purchase is the sum result of the combination of many cognitive biases, all aggregated to produce the result. With cognitive biases, for example, bias 1, bias 2, bias 3 does not equal an effectiveness score of 3. The Lollapalooza effect is a non-linear and unpredictable effect. 1 plus 1 plus 1 could equal to 100 or 45 or 12,000 or something like that. This is a direct quote from Charlie Munger on cognitive biases and how they work in this effect. The tendency to get extreme consequences from confluences of psychological tendencies acting in favor of a particular outcome. The most important thing we need to keep in mind is the idea that especially big forces often come out of these models. When several models combined, we get the Lola Palazzo effect, right? So this is basically 2, 3, 4 or more forces all operating in the same direction, and frequently we don't get simple additions. It's more like the critical mass in physics, where you get a nuclear explosion if you get to a certain point of mass, and you don't get anything much worth seeing if you don't reach the mass, right? तो अगर आप एक पर्टिकुलर मास पे पहुंचते हो तो एक न्यूक्लियर एक्सप्लोजन जितनी बड़ी चीज़ होती है, एंड आप अगर उस मास के थोड़ा भी नीचे होते हो तो ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होता, राइट? Sometimes the forces just add like ordinary quantities, and sometimes they combine on a break point or a critical mass. So this is basically the book that you can read. तो ये चार्ली मंगर की एक बहुत अच्छी book है. This has a lot of information, and then these are the final notes. Everything you need to know to craft, create and build effective stimuli can be found in this video. If you want to know how to write good copy, create brilliant sales script or design funnels that work, you just need to understand people and how they think. Influence goes deeper than packing a few testimonials on a funnel and guaranteeing results. It's really, really deep. Humans use heuristics to make decisions. A decision leads to an action, which is exactly what we want from the human in our client acquisition process. You need to design your stimuli with heuristics in mind to make your stimuli more effective at triggering action. There are 88 heuristics in this video. Obviously, I'm not recommending you use them all at once or start cramming all of them into everything you do. Just be smart. इन चीज़ों को जितना जितना आप अप्लाई करोगे उतना उतना आपका फ़ायदा होता जाएगा. And these were basically everything we used to close you as a client, and these are everything that we will help you in combining with your stimuli, combining with your systems and everything, ताकि आप भी clients को close कर पाएँ.